So there's some things I found in this video to be very strange and make me think that a lot of people live in bubbles. Like they literally live in a certain faction of society and bubble that they don't get out of that bubble zone. And here's a very attractive man, right? Let's continue. Let's see here. And let me play what he says. Let me start from the beginning, and then I'm gonna break it off and say things about what I hear. Wait a minute. Shoot.
Reason relationships don't work these days is because women are becoming the men that they need. Now, I thought about that post, and I actually realized that, that's the truth. In 2022, a woman doesn't need a man. She doesn't need you. She can provide for herself. Damn, if she turns 18 and doesn't know what she wants to do with her life, she can jump on OnlyFans and start a career. She can fast track her economic career and start providing for herself. What does she need a man for? Money provides security, comfort.
Come on, stop. Right there. So, throughout this whole video, he talks about women being on OnlyFans, right? And that she's providing for herself. Excuse me. That's the only women that are providing for themselves are the ones that get on OnlyFans. And if you want to get technical, she's not really providing for herself because she's relying on what God gave her parents gave her by way of body to get money from men. So she's still relying on men. Pretty much. She still needs her feminine woes to get money off of OnlyFans. And this man throughout this whole video, and I'm going to keep playing, talks about women on OnlyFans, women on OnlyFans, women on OnlyFans. What about the women that build businesses? What about those women that are providing for themselves? What about women that have careers and professions that are providing for themselves? They're not on OnlyFans. So let's continue.
And if anyone tells you money isn't everything, they're lying. Money is everything. As far as internal comfort or internal security, that's something, every individual has to work on themselves for. But money covers that to an extent. You can buy, you can buy things that can fill a void temporarily and continue to use those things to fill that void internally that you're missing. See, women don't need men these days because guess what? She's going to post a bikini photo and get a whole lot of thirsty ass dudes in her DM telling her how pretty she is. Do you think that doesn't fill that void of insecurity that she has on the inside? Of course. That's why she's posting it. She knows that these thirsty dudes that will never, ever get a chance with her are going to validate her. And so why does she need a man? She can provide for herself. She can clothe herself. She can provide shelter for herself. She doesn't need you. But she got a whole lot of simps in her DM giving her validation. So it's true.
So before there was an OnlyFans, there was a strip club. And before there was a strip club, there was brothels. So women have been in... So OnlyFans is now just the virtual reality of a strip club. It's a virtual reality of an actual brothel without actually a man actually being able to physically touch and penetrate a woman. So OnlyFans is just it's the virtual next step from brothel. It's the virtual next step from strip clubs. This is not anything new. Okay, women have been providing for themselves with these careers for eons. The brothels have been around for thousands of years. Okay? But there's always been women who have, maybe they made bread and that was their business. Let's say 400 years ago, before there was technology, she was baking loaves of bread and selling them at markets. She was a businesswoman, an entrepreneur, right? So even back then, there were women who were doing other things to provide for themselves. Because Lord knows that if she lost her husband, let's say he passed away, there weren't insurance policies to help her, and there were a lot of times family members wouldn't help her, especially if she had children. So women had to do what they had to do to make money even back then. This is nothing new. But he doesn't touch on the women that are actually out there that want men. Like, they don't need them. Yes, maybe she's a doctor, maybe she's a trauma nurse or whatever the case may be, and she makes very decent money. But there's a lot of women that choose men not because they need them and because they need to be subjugated, but because they actually want men. But this is a concept that is very foreign to these men nowadays, that it's better for women to want you than actually need you. Don't you think? Wouldn't you rather have a woman that loves you wholeheartedly and wants you? Let's continue.
Females these days become the man that they need, because guess what? Back in the day, the man was the breadwinner. The man provided safety, security. Young women, and they were getting to that age of maturity, physically.
Let me backtrack on that one. He said, back in the day, men provided safety and security. Okay, to an extent, maybe he's right, because maybe the man was in the house, and if any one single person broke in, maybe he was protecting his wife. But back in those societies as well, it's a myth. Let me just say this protecting and shielding is a myth, because women were gang raped. If there was a conquering power, superpower that came into your village and took over the village, these men would possibly be put to death. And if they weren't put to death, their wives and daughters would be raped right in front of them. And that was a thing too. A lot of these male patriarchal system structures that went in conquering would purposely let the man, or make the man, watch as they raped their wives and daughters to break them down, if they didn't kill them. So where was the protection then? Where was a woman's protection then? Where was a young woman's protection then? Let's continue.
Would be looking for a rich man to marry who would provide in all areas. But as soon as the tables turn and women have equal rights, which I'm all about, 100%, women realize that, why do I need a man? I can do everything a man can do economically to get rich. I can do the exact same. So why do I need a man? Which leaves a question: what's your part to play as a man in a female's life? And my personal opinion is, as a man, your part to play is in your purpose. You got to be driven as hell about yourself, your purpose, and a female is going to connect to a man who's driven. You can't be a bum ass dude living with your mom, not trying to get out of that situation where you don't have a job and your mom's paying for everything, and think that a female of that situation where you don't have a job.
So I get his points, and they're valid points he just made. Okay, I can agree with him, because a lot of women, are attracted to driven men. Yeah, I get that. There's a lot of women that want to stay home. They want to be a stay-at-home wife or mother, or they just they would love to be provided for. But I think a lot of women feel very insecure about that, because on many occasions when they thought they could trust the man, or thought that this man would provide for them or would be there for them so that they could be a stay-at-home person, not in the workforce, and resting, quote unquote, in her femininity, the man left her high and dry with children. So I think that a lot of women are fearful, even if they want that. I think a lot of them are fearful to express it, and a lot of women have had the rug rolled or pulled out from underneath them, and that they feel like there is no security in men. They feel that there is no way to trust men who will do that, even if that's the kind of life they personally want to live, because there's a lot of women that don't want to live that life. There's a lot of women that want to be out there, moving and shaking the society and creating and being powerful and making tons of money. So is she wrong for wanting that? I don't think so. And neither is the woman the woman that wants to stay home and raise children. She's not wrong for that either. There's trust issues, I think, for women when they're, because it takes a lot of vulnerability for a woman to put her life and her well-being in the hands of a man alone. At what point can she trust him? Because when she stays home and she stops working her career and she's waiting on him to bring the paycheck and provide for the household, there's some vulnerability there. There's a lot of vulnerability there. So, what type of man is going to be the provider? You just saw what's his name? Something Jackson. What is his name? I can't think. Anyways, he's that so-called guru that is about relationship coaches for women. He's made a ton of money on women and books. Okay? And now he's leaving his wife. This wonderful wife he has. That he preached how much, men need to be doing for their wives. What kind of vulnerable is she going to be now that he's stepping out and divorcing her? What do you think she has? What do you think security she has? Let's continue.
And your mom's paying for everything, and think that a female who's got everything she needs is going to want you. You don't even qualify for her, and you want to get mad at the females. You can't get mad. Guess what? The only thing you can do is self-improve, self-develop. Become your own number one fan. Become the alpha of your own life. And guess what? The female...
I can totally agree with him when he says that. That would be some actual good coaching for men. Is that? Are many young men wanting to hear that? Actually, not even just young men. There's men in their 40s and 50s that are avoiding those statements or don't want to hear that advice.
That gravitate towards that energy will come to you. They will. But does a female need you in 2022? Hell no. No way. She can post a selfie right now on Instagram, post a whole naked photo on OnlyFans and make money. She doesn't need you, bruh. So that's it for today. Just a quick thought. Now, I felt that Facebook post was very interesting. But yeah, like, share, subscribe. Peace.
So again, do you want a woman to need you, or do you want a woman to want you? Which is more important?